Hello, Andre. Do you have a good recipe for an omelette?
Hello, Cesar. Yes, I have one that's really quite elegant. Well, first we must start with the chicken. You must extract the egg from the chicken. This can be done in two ways. One, we can wait it out, or two, we can stimulate the chicken until it produces the egg. After you've done this a few times and tested it, you can have someone do it for you. We'll call them a keeper. So you can have this person to do the egg extraction for you, and then you use the egg to put it into a receptacle. So you open the egg into the receptacle. The receptacle is then placed on some heated surface, and you agitate the egg while heating it. Soon, the egg will be edible and delicious.
Huh?
Hello and welcome to Cesar's Snack Sandwich. Today we're on Ethereum taking a look at Andre Cronje's little project. So Andre Cronje, for those who don't know, is the creator of Yearn Finance. Now he's got a bunch of more things in the works, but one of these projects has yet to be released and is still in development and in concept. This project is being called Deriswap, and this is the project I will talk about today. Now, if you like this video, feel free to like it. It does help me a lot and gets the video shared around. And you can feel free to subscribe if you like the videos that I am producing. Thank you. Let's go over to Deriswap. So there's not a whole lot of information right now out about Deriswap. So a lot of what I'm going to speak of is basically my understanding of reading this article, listening to this interview, and taking a look at this picture here. There's not like I said, there's not a lot of information out. It's all concept and, asking questions in the Yearn community and see what kind of consensus we can come to by talking to other people who are interested in this stuff. So Deriswap, what is it? It says Deriswap, capital efficient swaps, futures, options, and loans. So it's a pretty much go-to for everything in DeFi. Capital efficient swaps. So one of the ideas is that it's trying to, I'm going to call it replace. His words say he doesn't want to replace, but I'm going to say replace these kinds of markets where you have the problem of liquid impermanent loss through the trading in these. So he's going to say there's still going to be permanent loss here because it's still a 50-50 pool. However, he's going to use other things to offset that impermanent loss. So he's going to use options. Now, one of the things he says in this video that's very insightful and very educational for me is that options tend to be very active when the market is not volatile. So when things have stabilized and the prices of things are not changing a lot, people tend to take options out. They tend to open new contracts for options. And those options, when the prices become volatile, those options get triggered and become losses. So if you're selling options on your platform, then you're taking losses during volatility. But when the market is stable and the prices are not moving a lot, then you are gaining option fees through selling options. Now the opposite is true on Uniswap and on market makers. When the price is stable, you're not gaining any money in fees because people aren't trading because the price is not moving. But when volatility comes into play, people trade more and you gain more fees. So these kind of work like back and forth. They kind of complement each other. They have a synergism to each other, like a synergy. So he says that by using these two things, we can put them into one product and they can work together with each other. So this is where I'm going to make some big speculations. I think that he's going to make this so that when you supply liquidity to this pool, you are supplying liquidity both to swap pools and to option pools, so that any person who supplies liquidity will be getting the benefits of both of these as well as the negatives of both of these, where the benefits offset the negatives of the other. Now, he says there's also going to be loans like Compound, Aave, DYDX, and Cream as well. So he's going to try to incorporate this, and we do see this in this image here. This is a tweet by Andre that went out on November 27th, and it clearly shows, the collateral here and the borrow here, and the options of in the nice yearn setup where he has ETH here and he's supplied it, he's gaining 3.9%, and the keeper he's going to borrow and he's going to pay this percentage to borrow it. So you can see now, of course, these numbers are all not real because it's testing and it's not live and they don't have a whole bunch of users, and he's probably using his own funds or him and his friends' funds to build this up and get some of these numbers. So these numbers are not completely accurate, especially these APYs and so forth, but you get the idea. It's a platform, and you can see there's more and more down here that are not showing, but so there will be a list of assets that you can supply and borrow, just like Aave and Cream and all that. If you don't know how Aave and Cream and all them work, you can check this video up here in the right hand corner where I talk about the three major borrowing platforms. Okay, so back here. So that pretty much covers what he, what's going to happen with Deriswap. He does talk about in this video about the idea of futures, but I don't quite get it. Basically, the difference between an option and a future is a future has to be settled and an option doesn't have to be settled. So you can buy an options contract and say in the future, you say, you know what, I don't actually want to settle it. Whereas a futures is more like you give me the ETH now and I will give you the Bitcoin later, or whatever the deal is, right? So I'm not exactly sure how I can figure out how he's going to stick these in here and put it to good use, but maybe just sell options as well. So that pretty much covers Deriswap. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and see you next time. Goodbye. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching it. If you would like to support the channel, you can subscribe and like the video and all that kind of stuff. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter at CaesarH7, and if you really want to help me, you can purchase one of my NTFs at the Rarible store here. All these links will be in the description below. And finally, if you really want to talk to me, you can join my Telegram channel, link in the description. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.